And we're recording. Hey everybody, just like to welcome you to the first video log for a wee melodic rock project I'm doing called Savant. The idea behind the video log is really just to kind of let everybody know that something's happening. I've been a wee busy bee, sort of, and no long afore time, I think. I think that's the saying that people say. If no, then ram it. But aye, wee video log just to let you know that this melodic rock project I'm working on is called Savant, and I'll be posting up, keeping you up to date with video logs, probably on Facebook and YouTube as well. It's a kind of grassroots video log, so from a musician's perspective, really it's all about kind of twofold at least. Keeping people up to date with what my music's up to, and at the same time, just letting everybody else know out there that, it's not a case of whapping four songs together, four chords, whapping four chords together, and boom, you're on Spotify and you're making tons of money, because that's not really what it's like, you know. I've seen a lot of stuff in the news recently about Spotify and two sides of the argument. The CEO of Spotify saying that people should be pumping out songs and working harder, and that's not really what it's like. I don't know the guy personally, but I'm kind of getting a wee bit of a bean counter vibe from him. Anyways, so Savant is the name of the project, and hopefully at some point I'll be bringing a full album out. And I've got a date penciled in for the release of the album, but I'm not going to tell you yet because we're living in crazy times, and juggling with everything else, it's still quite good to be able to breathe a wee bit. Eventually, I will publish the release date, and hopefully that gives you guys something to look forward to if you're into what I'm doing. If no, then fine, crack on. But I'll give me a wee bit of a personal target as well. I think in terms of releasing a full album's worth of music, it's something that I probably should have done a while ago, and I've been holding off and holding off and holding off. And the reason I've been holding off is because I've been trying for a good few years now to try and get a band together, and try and work with other musicians, try and just create some kind of multifaceted thing that I could be really proud of, but also that involved other people, because that's kind of what playing in a band's all about. It's alright doing things yourself, but it kind of sucks a wee bit of the life out of it when there's no other people there, telling you no sometimes to different ideas. And you feed off of a lot of everybody else's creative side as well. So I've been really missing that, but time's getting on, and my enthusiasm isn't really getting any lower. In fact, it's getting worse, to the point that I feel like I've had to do this even though I didn't want to. But now that I'm doing it, I'm enjoying it. So what'll come, what'll be. But it would be nice at some point, once I've put everything together, if people are interested, to get back out there in the circuit and play live music again. Feel that vibe, and everybody having a good time, and to know that a small part of that's because of what you're doing. It brings you a wee bit of happiness and inner peace as well. But so the genre of the project is melodic rock, and I say melodic rock, for me it's quite a broad way of describing it. A lot of people look at me and I know that a lot of people think, oh, there's Gio, he's into heavy metal, he's a rocker. And I am into heavy metal, I love it, it's badass, man of war. But I like a lot of other music as well, and the idea behind this project is that a lot of of music these days is really sad, or it's really freakishly cheery to the point that it's so false. Nobody feels the kind of level of emotion in some of the songs that are in pop these days. It's totally false and kind of a fabricated emotion. It's the faking emotion. But this is more like a kind of harken back to the the good old MTV days before MTV died. And back then it was like you could fire on your MTV and they'd be playing bands for like the kind of mid to late 80s, early 90s and things like that, and you would get a good decent bunch of rock bands in there as well. And it wasn't really that depressing stuff, or like it wasn't really angry. It was just like feel good kind of like rock and roll, that kind of thing. And I've got a wee bit of nostalgia for a lot of that because I grew up watching a lot of that happening, and it doesn't happen these days. Everybody's too worried about being sad and oh, what's the next big sad song. And I'm not getting that confused with ballads, because ballads are different. A ballad can be sad, but the whole idea behind a ballad is that it lifts you out of that sadness. And I think that that's what a lot of music these days is missing. It's all slow, dreary, sad, and really toned down to the fact that it's depressing, So anyways, aye, maybe a bit cheerier, kind of rock, melodic rock, melody is important to me personally. I hear a lot of people talking about, the death of melody, how it's all about the rhythm, and when they say rhythm, they don't actually mean rhythm, I don't think, these days, because most of the time it's just a sampled kick drum, and it's the same drum beat, or it's the same group of drum beats or the same group of samples just playing over and over again. And that to me is not really rhythm. Rhythm should move and breathe, it's like a dance. We're not all robots. So, I suppose melodic rock is the way I'm going to go with this. But again, it is a wide, very broad kind of summary what the project's going to be. I've been listening to a lot of stuff recently that's got that really great 80s vibe. A wee bit of Genesis, Submarillion. Obviously, everybody loves a wee bit of Bon Jovi. But bands again like Toto, or like Jefferson, what a band. If you've never heard the song Jane by Jefferson, just go on YouTube it, because that to me is a rock song and it's bloody class. Get it on the jukebox next time you're in the pub, but don't go to the pub there now because you'll get the COVID. Oh shite, I said the C word. I mean, you blank that out. So that's a broad kind of range of influences. I'm a massive Queen fan. I like my stadium rock, so I want music to be emotional, but I want it to really scoop down there, dig in deep, and then kind of give people a wee bit of an emotional helping hand, especially in these difficult times. Obviously, at some point there will be an album, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to the work. I've been working quite hard on it so far, and I spent about 7 hours just working on a song that I had a wee idea. And literally the analogy I can think of is, dismantling something. Like, if you dismantle an engine and you've got it lying all over the ground and you're looking at all the wee tiny bits, and you can think to yourself, I've kind of dug a deep hole here, I'm not really going to be able to get out of this. So I did the wee song in pieces, and I felt quite not upset about it, but I was really overwhelmed by the work I gave myself, to the point that I thought the whole idea was ruined, and the good vibe that I had totally been lost, and I just wasn't enthusiastic about putting it together again. But I stuck with it for 7 hours, and I got there. In fact, I done better than get there. I bloody made whatever there is, so I'm feeling quite positive about this one. But hopefully, once the album's released, I don't know, I would love to play in a live setting again. You know, I miss that vibe. I miss the feedback for the audience, or the crowd, the maddening crowd when you're playing a song and everybody's just loving it. You know, maybe having a wee drink or just having a wee chat with their mates, but at the same time they're getting the vibe of the music. And I miss playing with other people and feeling like a part of something. You know, like you've created that atmosphere where everybody's enjoying themselves. So it would be nice, but I'm not counting on it because of the amount of effort I put in before try to put a band together, and it just kind of get killed. I suppose it just kind of kills that wee bit of creative spark in you for a while, and you know there comes a point where you just need to kind of cut the cord for a wee while at least, and just focus on the stuff that makes you happy, and the stuff that kind of lets your expression and your creativeness really grow. So that's what I'm doing now, and that's what Savant is all about. So this is the first video log, hopefully one of many. This is really just a kind of introduction, just letting everybody know what the project's about, what I'm up to, and you know, trying to kind of just drum up a wee bit of interest. Feel free to leave a comment. I'd be interested in people's feedback, you know. All you angry internet heroes out there, chop chop. But I think further down the line, some of the video logs will probably be a bit more technical. You know, I'll be focusing on things like, you know, starting from scratch, songwriting, where I'm at, what I'm doing, maybe a wee idea I've got, I'll take you through one of them. A day in the life of a song kind of thing, I suppose. It would be quite fun. Recording everything myself, which has been a really steep learning curve, but do you know what? It's totally worth it, you know. Mixing, that's one of my new kind of loves. I love mixing. You know, I'll mix anything. I'll mix your soup. That maybe even do a wee bit of mastering as well. Well, hopefully I will be doing a bit of mastering because, you know, you kind of need master to release things. So I've been looking into a lot of technical stuff about different techniques, you know, different tips and tricks, and I'm getting there, you know. I've not got anything fancy. I've just got me, my mind, my guitar, and a wee interface that I use called the Spaceboard, and a wee computer that's nothing special. So I'm just doing a grassroots recording project with your average desktop computer. Nothing crazy in there, but I'm going to try my best to do as good as I can with what I've got. You know, you can only, as a wise man once said, you can only push what God's gave you. So aye, batter in, and I'll hopefully see you for the next video log, and we'll talk some music. Cheers.